April 4th will be here before you know it. That's the home opener against the Syracuse Chiefs. Moving on, Moravian College playing host to more than just athletic events this week, celebrating 40 years of Title IX. Christy Fulkerson was on campus Thursday for the keynote event.
It's a week-long event at Moravian College celebrating the anniversary of one of the most profound civil rights laws in American history, Title IX of the Education Amendments.
It's just to educate our younger generation because they aren't aware of the struggles that happened, so many years ago, and not even that long ago, really, in some respects. So it's just an opportunity for women to support each other and acknowledge each other as well.
It's fantastic because we're helping a lot of the younger students here, the student athletes, learn about what was a landmark piece of legislation in the early 70s. And during that time, it was all about civil rights and women's rights. And in 1972 and 73, when Title IX was passed, it changed everything for women.
Dr. Margaret McMenamin, a Central Catholic grad, was one of two keynote speakers Thursday, emphasizing Title IX's importance beyond athletics, providing equal opportunities in education, employment, and any other federally assisted program. Dr. Christina Jackson was a former Moravian professor and coach who spoke of her experiences prior to Title IX's adoption and how lucky women are in present day.
It's part of the evolution of women. I mean, women have always been doing something. It was just that they were doing less. And Title IX put a little more money into things, and so that there were more opportunities. And at the same time, other things were happening that culturally we became more accepting of women.
Dr. McMenamin, now president of Union County College in New Jersey, also reflected on the past, calling it a man's world in the 60s and 70s.
There was a bitter fight for civil rights in America.
After Title IX, she became the first woman to receive a basketball scholarship at Temple University in 1975.
These young women athletes are standing on the shoulders of giants like Dr. Jackson, who fought for years for women to have a chance to compete. But it's more than just playing the sport. I know that playing basketball at Temple for me was great. I love to play basketball. But more important, it gave me an opportunity to an education that opened doors for me in my career.
While most of the students and student athletes had heard of Title IX before this week's event, most could admit they've taken a lot of their rights and equal opportunities for granted, calling this an eye-opening experience and one they're glad they could be a part of.
This is important. This is us. This pertains to us. Without this, we couldn't be here. We couldn't play. I wouldn't have the opportunities that we have. So it's very important. I'm very glad that they did it.
So much of this has happened when we weren't even around. It's really good for our generation to know what everyone that came before us did for us to be where we are now. I think we take a lot of things for granted, especially in relation to academics and especially sports. It's just we've grown up doing whatever we want to do, and I think it's good to know what was done so that we could have everything that we have today.
The Title IX celebration continues Saturday with a free girls basketball clinic for ages K through 8th grade, followed by the Greyhounds women's basketball game and reception that night. On the scene at Moravian College, Christy Fulkerson, 2 Sports.